Welcome to Memories for the People, a new channel on YouTube on the Left Turn Network. I'm George Farrar, and I'm pleased to bring you this new channel on YouTube. This channel will look at the memories that we have held in common over the years since 1945. When we take a look at this picture of Grand Central that I took back in 2017, we see so many people busy, all going about their daily lives. Our lives are made up of the memories that we hold, the memories that we have personally and that we as a people hold in common. This is just one moment in time, precisely 10:22 a.m. on April 13th, 2017. When we go out onto the street, when we go out into the city, when we go out into our daily lives, and we go about life, we have to remember that life is very much a journey. We have a start with our birth, and unfortunately we have an end with our death. And in between are the memories that make us. This is a past memory I have, driving around the city of my birth, where I was made, the city that made me, the people, the family that made me, my father and my mother. And of course, there are always the childhood experiences we've had, the unique experiences, the unique memories that we'll never forget, and of the people that made it happen. The parents and family that had a role in your development, your growth, and where you are today. So as you see these personal memories come along that I have, think about the memories that you've had. Here I am in front of City Hall. Who could have imagined that I would have gotten as politically involved, or that in 2012 would have begun to create a history series. Here I am talking with a friend, a memory of talking with a friend and working with people to build something here on YouTube where I would tell a story. What I'll be doing on this channel is to tell stories. Now, sometimes telling a story is a lot of hard work. Here I am sweating it out at Hemming Park in Jacksonville for my History Jacksonville series. And the stories that I was telling and that I'll tell here, in some cases, are very old stories. Though my focus is going to be from 1945 forward, they have the durability of that train station, that old train station, the old Jacksonville terminal behind me in that picture. We look at the past so that we can understand the present and the future. And for many of us who lived during the times and the pictures that we'll see, we can celebrate, we can respect, we can honor. And so, for a good number of years, I worked to tell the story of my hometown, my old hometown of Jacksonville. But in 2019, there was a point of reflection that I had. Sometimes your biggest memory can be simply looking out a window, thinking about the future, thinking about where you've been, where you are, and where you want to go. As I said earlier, life is a journey, it's not necessarily a destination, right? But you have to go somewhere, and in life, sometimes the road will take you away. And so in 2019, I packed up my things, sold my house, and I moved to California. And I wanted to do some different things. And so you bet I'm doing some different things. I'm now living in El Cajon, California, just outside the beautiful city of San Diego. The slogan for San Diego is America's finest city. Now, when we go to big places, let's say like Hoover Dam, when we have these chances, we'll have these memories in the back of our minds. But there are these great events that happen in American history that bind us. Things that as generations of people as United States citizens, as Americans, we can hold dear. And this channel that I'm starting today, August 17th, 2019, is to tell that story. And it's interesting that I've selected this point in time because just back in July, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the July 1969 lunar landing on the moon by astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. And then just now wrapping up the 50th anniversary of the big festival called Woodstock. That was a big event, a big concert, a big festival that was held in upstate New York. That was a big rallying point for a lot of who we would term as the baby boomers, the people that were born between roughly 1945 and 1961 to 1964, right in that time range between 45 and 64. And so we have experiences we have in common. For example, I wasn't alive during Woodstock, but just the other night I heard Jimi Hendrix play on his guitar the national anthem, and it moved me. And someone had the foresight, of course, to film all these performers at this concert. Jimi Hendrix was a legend, but he died young. Again, we have these events that happen. Growing up, I remember the Cold War, President Ronald Reagan, Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev. There being a lot of concern about what was going to happen in the world. And for a while, we really thought world peace was at hand. But as life seems to demonstrate on a daily basis, sometimes the road to progress is met by damage. And at this point in our welcoming episode, we do have to touch upon, when we talk about memories, somewhat negative things. I can remember one of my first memories of tragedy was the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger in January 1986, seeing that. And then on September the 11th, 2001, seeing the planes crashing into the World Trade Center that I had visited in 1997 and 1998. And then, of course, we have these big, huge weather events. In Florida, I experienced a higher number of hurricanes than I might have liked. But there's beauty in our lives. And so not only will I be looking at the tragedy, but I'll be looking at the art. But I'll be doing it from a unique perspective, I believe, of someone born in the mid-70s. I'm a part of a generation called Generation X, and I'll be looking at Generation X. And I'll be looking at what makes Generation X unique. Now, when we look at American society, we're also looking at movies. Because if you think about it, what are you watching right now? A production, right? So there are these great movies, and all the music and art and culture I just can't put into some sort of 10-minute, 11-minute video. So I'm going to be breaking all these things out into shows. Back to the Future, 1985. It blew my mind. Michael J. Fox. But you can see art anywhere. You can see art in a long-forgotten Chicago underpass. Art from a long time ago that told a story. Or you can go to some grand place like the Rockefeller Center, built in the 1930s, that's in New York City on the island of Manhattan. And you can see some art, some murals on walls that you're not going to forget. You're not going to forget it. You can go to the New York Public Library and see beautiful murals that when you look at them, these are perspectives of history. In a sense, though, aren't they telling stories? Aren't they relaying the common memories, but done through painting? So, in each of the stories that I'll bring you on Memories for the People, you're going to get stories that I'll put together, that I'll assemble. Here I am outside on Roosevelt Island, just across from the United Nations. We as a people, here I am in Washington, D.C. in 2018, right outside the United States Capitol building. We as a people, we the people, when you think about it. I'm ready. I'm ready to bring you the best. I'm ready to bring you the stories of American history, focusing from 1945 forward, because it's the memories that I believe that we have in our past to where we can understand our history. And it's an exciting story to tell. So the sun is going to rise on this new YouTube channel, and I'll bring you the best that I can. And I'll tell these stories in this new YouTube channel called Memories for the People. Please subscribe, please watch, please share, and as always, please let me know what you think. Thank you for watching today. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come.